Alright guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead. So today, I gotta bring you some bad news. Now on this channel, we don't sugarcoat nothing. If it happens, we tell you about it. And what has happened sucks. So let me get you over here and show you. So for those of you who've been following the channel, these are our grid ties. Now as you can see, that one's functioning properly. That one's not. That one's not. So let me explain here. So all of these have been going for years now. I'd have to go back and look at exactly the dates, but yeah. And I paid like $100 each for these. Now with these two out, my electric bill will probably go up somewhere between $45 and $60 now with the AEP price increase of 28%. That's right. My electric company has jacked our rates 28%. That's not counting fees, grid charges, etc. So it's actually more like 35%. But let me explain. So we normally have storm season this time of year, and we have power outages, and these things generally do quite well. But this was the worst hit I have ever seen while I've been at home. Now, for some context, I'm used to the power going out, or the power going out, coming back on, going back out, coming back on, you know, flickering. We all know what that is. What happened this last time that blew these out? That wasn't normal. Now, I got lucky and only lost a couple power bricks and some smaller things. I didn't lose any actual TVs or big components, computers or nothing else in this. But literally my house, for almost 30 full seconds, just went zzz, like literally everything in the house looked like it was frying. The lights were flickering so fast, I've never seen anything like it. Now, it's very normal around here to have transformers like literally explode and like catch on fire, or sometimes even like pop and the pole, it comes off the pole. We've actually had a pole down the end of the road, the transformer blew up and then it set the pole on fire and then the pole fell down. I mean, I've seen some crazy things happen around here with electric, but this was awful. So the normal resets didn't kick in. If you know what I mean, like either the power goes out or there'll be like some flashing and then it almost goes off, or sometimes it does go off and then it'll come back up because of the way we are legged off of the main grid. So it's like a section shuts down or a substation shuts down and then the rest of the system carries it. That's kind of how it works. Well, and I know that's a terrible explanation, but go with me here. Something must have gotten caught between 2 points and just let it fry. And I mean let it fry. 30 full seconds. My box was humming like crazy. My neighbors, you know, all the power. Even when I got done and I went out, the pole out by my house, you could hear it humming some weird sound even after it was over. So I don't know, I'm guessing something big in a substation got hit and it kind of welded it open. Does that make sense? Before something else kicked off. But it was the worst hit I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I've seen some crazy things happen because I live right next to a main line, as in like main line that goes across state. You know, main giant huge towers is literally next door to my house. So I have seen some crazy things happen, but this one was the hardest hit I've ever experienced in my life, and it roasted 2 of my grid ties. Now, you could say whatever you want, and yes, I've checked the fuses. I know when these things act like this because they turn on and just instantly turn red. They're popped inside. I'm sure there's either a capacitor popped or heat sinks are all popped or something major. It's not a repairable. I don't even have to open it. You can smell it. Now, they did their job. They shut off just like they were supposed to. Only one came back on because the hit was so hard, and obviously it was on one leg. Now, where to go from here is the question. We will be turning this actual house into an Airbnb in the future, or some kind of rental. So having these in here that make this kind of noise is just not acceptable. Now, the array that's on the back porch later will be designated for heating and cooling. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. But for now, not having these grid tied is not cost effective because we are losing $45 to $65 probably a month by these two not being on. All right. So what I've decided to do is buy a little bit bigger of a grid tie that I can wire all this into. So we're going to be going with Grow Watt right now is what it looks like. Now there is some more cost to that, but it can handle more power, let's say, than these can, because we all know that they say 1,000 watts, but you don't want to feed these 1,000 watts. Realistically, I feel like this is going to be a much better decision than trying to throw more of these in stock, because these also have gone up in price to almost $125 a piece. So there's really no reason to go buy two more of those versus say $400, $450 for a Grow Watt that can run everything. Now, where I will install that, I'm not really sure yet. I may put it here temporarily just for ease, but in the future, I think I'm going to do an external mount with a weather controlled box. That way it can be on the outside and I can get access to it if I ever needed to. Just put a cutoff switch underneath of it. That way it's nice and easy. If this place is rented, I can still have access to it without bothering the residents that are living here. So I wanted to really talk to you guys about this though, because it seems like whenever I see people do videos about these, they don't want to talk about when they pop. If you look back on our channel, you know, you saw the one out in the wood burner building. That was completely my fault. That poor thing probably got to 200 and some degrees. It got dirt and dust from the wood and the ashes in there. That was me. That was my fault that one popped. But I want you to just know that I have made, you know, if you look at it this way, if you did $50 a month, let's say, when the kids were here, they were making us way more than that, and took these two that I've had going for years, you know how much money these things have saved me? The $100 I paid for them was nothing. So I'm not saying they were a bad investment. I just think technology has come so far and there's such better ones on the market now. There's absolutely no reason to be buying these, honestly. If you're just trying to get started and learn about it and you got a 100-watt panel and you just want a grid tie to try and pull a few watts out of it, yeah. Outside of that, this would not be the way I would go if I was starting out now and wanting to go seriously. They do work. You can see the one working in the background right now. She's still pumping away. But sometimes it makes sense with the technology changing and the price coming down to go with something a little better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the fact that we are very, you know, clear about what happens here. If things go wrong, we don't just cover it up and act like nothing happened. But if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't, and if you want to see us install this new grid tie, go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos. Give us a like. Let us know in the comments, have you ever run these type grid ties and what kind of luck you had with them? And we will see you in the next one.